December 6th, 11 p.m., ISO Zoe's mother, Marcy Trier, she'll be on the show live to tell her inspirational story. All proceeds from that evening, whether it be super chat or donation, will go directly to the WIN program. The WIN program is the largest provider of shelter and supportive housing for homeless families in New York City. Make sure you join us, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Knicks fans. The Knicks tonight, we'll see if we can follow up that great win over the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Washington Wizards. Hopefully this is going to be an easier game. The Washington Wizards not having that great of a season. You know, they've got injuries. They've got stuff going on in the locker room. This is a game that I'm hoping that we can win. We look like we're getting things together, right? We've won 4 of our last 6 games. We had 2 duds when we were in that stretch where we played, 3 games in 4 nights, twice in a row. We were in, that kind of a stretch, but, we got a little bit of a break. We were able to come back. Nice win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Now we're going to see if we can follow it up. It's not going to be easy, though. They got a couple of guards over there that are, they can give us the business. Some tough guards over there. We're going to see if Emmanuel Moody and Tim Hardaway, if they're up to the task. And then, of course, our guys coming off the bench, if they're up to the task, Allonzo Trier, maybe Frank Ntilikina, if they're up to the task in dealing with Bradley Beal and John Wall. But I like what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen. I like where we are right now. I know that I've criticized Fizz. I'm going to. Still my guy. But I'm going to criticize him when I feel it's necessary. But maybe, just maybe, the Knicks are starting to get some things. Now, we're going to find out. We will find out. Was this just an anomaly? Right? Is it a one-time thing that we performed the way we performed against the Bucks? We shot an incredible rate from the 3. Shot, what was it, 53% from the field. Scored 130 points, 30 assists. Let's see. We'll find out tonight. We'll definitely find out tonight. Let's do a quick. Listen, I apologize that this is not live. I've got to fill in at my daughter's school during one of the basketball games there. So I made sure I got this out for you, for Knicks fans everywhere, so we can talk Knicks, of course. All right. But let's go ahead and go over this team comparison. All right. The Knicks currently are 8-16. That's, what? Given what we've done and what we've been through so far this year, I guess it's not ridiculous, right? It could be worse. Could be worse. We've had some good wins. Listen, at this point, right now, we expected the Knicks to be, I don't know. But we entered this stretch, and every single one of us said, this is going to be a hell of a stretch for the Knicks. This is going to be, this was really, I think we all considered it to be danger zone time, right? Because we were playing playoff teams. Boston, the Bucks, the Pelicans, teams that were supposed to just, take us out of there and kind of lay us out, lay down the groundwork for the rest of the season and what our path was going to be. But the Knicks obviously surprised some people. So our record could be worse than 8-16. We're 8-16 on the season, averaging 109 points per game, shooting 43.9% from the field. You know me. I want to see better, more efficiency. 34.3% from 3, 19.1 assists, 14.8 turnovers per game. The Washington Wizards, they're 9-14 on the season. Definitely a disappointment for them. The Wizards they expect to be a playoff team. I'm not so sure they're going to make the playoffs this year with the way things are going for the Wizards. Listen, for the Wizards, I believe that this is a season. This is a season that is going to, they're either going to make it or break it, right? I mean, they're a middle of the pack team. They've been a middle of the pack team. I do not believe they have the pieces to jump forward. I know Wall and Beal, are fairly young. Wall a little older than Beal. I think for the Wizards, after this year, they break up. They score 111.7 points per game. They shoot 45.8% from the field, 32% from three. They average 23.6 assists per game, only 14.2 turnovers. Their defensive rating, they give up 112.1 points per game. They're not that good of a rebounding team. 41.1 rebounds a game. 8.7 steals, 6.1 blocks. This is a team that we should definitely be competitive with. Definitely should be competitive with the Washington Wizards. Will we beat them? Who knows? But we should be competitive with these guys. The last time we played them wasn't quite so low, right? It was 108-95 the last time we played them. Wall had 26. Dwight Howard had 10 rebounds. John Wall also had 7 assists. Enes Kanter, led us in scoring with 18. Led us in rebounds with 12. Frank Ntilikina led us in assists. The team looks different right now as far as starting lineups are concerned. Both teams, to tell you the truth, look a little bit different right now. Obviously the Knicks tonight were projected to start Emmanuel Mudiay, Tim Hardaway Jr., Mario Hezonja, Noah Vonleh, and Enes Kanter. The Washington Wizards, John Wall, Bradley Beal, Thomas Satoransky, Otto Porter Jr., Thomas Bryant. And that's who they're looking to start tonight. Obviously, Dwight Howard is not going to be in the lineup. He's got to have a surgery done, so he's not going to be in the lineup. Nonetheless, they beat us by 13 the last time we played. I don't even think the game was that close, if I remember correctly. The last game we played them, we shot 44% from the field, 34% from three. The Wizards shot 46% from the field, 32% from three. We barely won the rebounding battle last time we played them. It was 45-41. We had 19 assists. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong stat, so excuse me. I'm sorry. I was actually going over the season stats with you right there. Apologize for that. Anyways, this is a team that we should be able to, we should compete better with them this game than we did last game, if I remember correctly. I was actually at the last game. And so I'm trying to think back to exactly what was going on in the last game. Anyway, they won by double digits. They won by double digits. And ladies and gentlemen, I know you're saying, well, Sin, man, this is pre-recorded. You should have had this stuff down packed. But you know what? I'm doing it live just like if I was doing it live any other time. And sometimes everything is not totally down packed. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're looking at wrong information. But I'm going to pull up some of this information from the previous game. All right. It was back in November. I'm going to pull this up for you right now. All right. While I'm pulling this up, let's talk about some of the key matchups for tonight's game while I'm pulling up this information. Okay. Emmanuel Mudiay is going to have a task in front of him. John Wall. Everybody knows what John Wall is, who John Wall is, and what John Wall can do. Emmanuel Mudiay is averaging 47.4% 50% from the field goal from the field this season, shooting much better than I think most of us expected. Right, Emmanuel Mudiay is he's having a heck of a season so far, especially since he's jumped into that starting lineup. Emmanuel Mudiay has really been. I'm proud of what Emmanuel Mudiay is doing, and I'm just hoping that he can continue. If he can continue to do what he's doing, the Knicks are gonna have something to think about come summertime. You know what I mean? So looking at the last game, now that I got that information up, I'm sorry for jumping around on you. The Knicks we won the rebounding battle 51-47. We had 19 assists. We had 5 blocks. We had 18 turnovers that game. We turned the ball over a lot. We've got to take care of the basketball. And Emmanuel Mudiay did not play that game. Frank Ntilikina was the starting point guard. He had 6 points. He had 4 assists, also 4 turnovers. Tim Hardaway had a bad game going up against Bradley Beal. We're going to talk about that matchup in a minute. Tim Hardaway had 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Mitchell Robinson was the starting center. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds. Noah Vonleh, of course, started. Damian Dotson was starting. He had 11 points and 6 rebounds. And as Cantor led the way, Emmanuel Mudiay, he did come off the bench for 22 minutes, had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Obviously, the game looks a lot different with Emmanuel Mudiay on the floor right now instead of Frank Ntilikina. So it's going to be something different for the Washington Wizards to look at, right? And so, Emmanuel Mudiay, of course, is going to be his first time seeing John Wall as he's a starter. He's going to have to deal with John Wall, right? John Wall right now is averaging 21 points a game, 3.6 rebounds, 8.1 assists, shooting 44.8% from the field, 32.8% from 3. Getting back to Mudiay, cut my own self off. Mudiay is 47.4% from the field, averaging 11 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 35.4% from the field. As a starter, I think he's somewhere around 14 points and 3 assists a game as a starter. All right, so this is definitely going to be a challenge for Emmanuel Mudiay, but I think John Wall may have a challenge and a handful of, in front of him with Emmanuel Mudiay, because Emmanuel Mudiay is playing at a high level right now, maybe the highest he's played in his career. All right, so hopefully Emmanuel Mudiay can continue the hot play that he started against not that he started against Milwaukee, but continue to play like he did against Milwaukee. All right. Listen, the Wizards, going back to the Wizards starting lineup, I mean, it's completely different. Not completely different, but it's pretty much different than what we've seen in the first matchup. Going back to it again tonight, projected lineups are John Wall, Bradley Beal, Satoransky, Otto Porter Jr., and Thomas Bryant. When we look at the last game we played them, the Wizards started John Wall, Bradley Beal. Now then you had Dwight Howard, Markieff Morris, and Kelly Oubre. All right, so lineups are different, players are different. All right, and so that's that's something to look at. And hopefully this game, the results will hopefully be different. All right. The next key matchup that we want to look at, Tim Hardaway, Bradley Beal. Last game, Bradley Beal. I mean, I was at the game. I was watching, folks. Tim Hardaway couldn't do anything with Bradley Beal. He was running off of screens, cutting to the basket. Tim Hardaway could not keep up with Bradley Beal. I don't know if I wouldn't expect any different tonight. Bradley Beal is who he is. We need Tim Hardaway to make Bradley Beal work. Okay, the last game, Tim Hardaway was horrible. 7 points. He shot 20% from the field. Only took 10 shots. Took 10 shots. Only made 2. All right. We need something different from Hardaway tonight. We got to make Bradley Beal work. And we don't need Bradley Beal getting off on us. Bradley Beal, last game, shot 50% from the field. He had 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists against Tim Hardaway in the last game. And the Knicks, Knicks lost. Only scored 95 points. 108-95. It wasn't a blowout, but I don't know if the game was really in contention. Okay. As a matter of fact, I can go over what we did in the last game quarter by quarter. We were down 7. We were down 8 we were down 7 points after the first quarter, 8 at the half. We cut it to 3 after the third quarter. But then they took over in the fourth quarter, outscored us by 10, and then there's the game. Okay, so of course it came down to that fourth quarter execution. So I guess, we were in the game. We were in the game, but I didn't feel like watching the game that we were actually going to win the game. I didn't feel like we were actually going to win it. Fourth quarter execution. At that point in the season, what do we expect now? I mean, it's been the same story for the whole season with the Knicks. Fourth quarter execution. If we want to have a chance tonight, we need Tim Hardaway to play with Bradley Beal. Tim Hardaway shooting 39.6% from the field. I don't care what anyone says. People can say he's having the best season of his career if they want to. Shooting 39.6% from the field, to me, that's not the best in your career. He's shooting better. And by him shooting better, I mean like 42, 43% for the season. That's Tim Hardaway's better. We need him to shoot better than that. Hopefully sometime this season he starts to shoot better than this. But Tim Hardaway hasn't had a really good shooting game in a while. Right? People tell me I'm nitpicking, or you can say whatever you want. That's fine by me. But Tim Hardaway hasn't really had a good shooting game. We need him to have one tonight. We need him to make Bradley Beal work. Okay? Make Bradley Beal work. Make Bradley Beal have to play defense. Okay? Tim Hardaway, we need you to have a good shooting night. Even against the Milwaukee Bucks. Tim Hardaway had 21 points, but he was 8 for 22, 36.4% from the field. Now he did have 8 assists, so we got to give him that. We got to shout him out for that. He had 8 assists, but we need him to shoot a little bit better. So Hardaway, let's get to it, my man. All right, let's get to it. All right, before we move on to talking about the keys to development or keys to success, I just want to remind you once more, on the live stream after the Knicks and Celtics, this Thursday, December 6th, 11 p.m., Allonzo Trier's mother, Marcy Trier, she's going to be on this show to tell her story. And it's inspirational. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to give you any clues. You got to tune in. For her coming on to the show, we're going to support ISO Zoe's Built for This campaign. And if you don't know, you can purchase an ISO Zoe Built for This campaign shirt through his website, represent.com/Allonzo. And a portion of the proceeds will go to support the WIN program. The WIN program is the largest provider of shelter and supportive housing for homeless families in New York City. So let's support Zoe and his Built for This campaign. Join the show. Any super chat, any donation made will go directly to the WIN program. So, save up your loose change to help us out. Anything that you can afford will help. And of course, you can purchase a shirt from ISO Zoe, represent.com/Allonzo. The last day to purchase the shirt is December the 6th. So jump on it, ladies and gentlemen. Purchase a shirt. Do something good for your community, because it could be a neighbor that you're helping. Right? Let's talk about the keys to the game. First things first, we got to defend the guards. We got to defend the guards. Bradley Beal, John Wall, they're beasts, I know. We got to do our best to make it tough for them. All right? Do our best to make it tough for them. We're a better rebounding team. They average 41.1 rebounds a game. Let's win the rebounding battle. Okay, we played efficient basketball against the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's continue. Let's play efficient basketball. All right, let's keep them out the paint. We're one of the worst teams in the league in letting people score in the paint. All right, we're down towards the bottom of the league and letting people score in the paint. Let's protect the paint. Let's protect the paint. All right, that means we got to stop the guards from getting into the paint, because that's one of the biggest reasons teams are scoring in the paint. And then, of course, as I mentioned, in the last game with the Wizards, they outscored us 10. We ended the third quarter down by 3. We lost by 13 because we didn't execute in the fourth. All right, we need to execute down the stretch. Give ourselves a chance in this game. My prediction, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Knicks win tonight. All right, for 2 in a row, we win tonight. And I'll definitely be excited if we win tonight. So, yeah, that's my prediction for tonight. All right. I'll see you guys during the post game. I won't get to see you at halftime. I'll see you guys during the post game. I'll probably jump into the chat while this is airing. All right. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I'll catch you post game, man. Peace. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't get it up. Let's do this one more time. You know what? It happens, don't it? That's what happens when you do live stuff. You mess up, but it's all good. Peace.